Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for the OPTC video, and in today's video, we're diving into some PvP with the new and improved shooter team. Shooters have had just a massive rise in the last couple of weeks. Since basically the release of Rise of Shinobu, we've had a very good snowball of shooter-based characters. Well, not really, actually. Before Rise of Shinobu, we had a massive snowball, all shooter characters, but they weren't really all there. Since Rise of Shinobu, we hadn't seen all that much, I should say, but we did get the release of Frankie. With the memories of the Straw Hat Celebration characters, did come a shooter variation of Frankie. He is a shooter powerhouse character, and he came right after the release of the deck shooter Usopp, which did seem very strange in the sense that Frankie buffs shooters, and Usopp actually buffs decks. Now, with decks, they've kind of molded into this powerhouse shootery kind of build, and that's obviously a video for another time. I have done multiple videos over on decks. They have become very, very good, and honestly become, like, probably my third strongest team as of right now, possibly fourth, tied with maybe strength. We'll see how that sort of tier list looks once we get part 3 of the big OP Day celebration with the last of the Clash Super Sugo Fests. We'll definitely be doing that tier list and team guide and meta guide, all that fun stuff for you guys. But shooters just sort of saw a massive rise, and Frankie brought a lot of damage to these shooter-based teams. With Fujikizaru and Ace, they already had some good damage. They had some very unique nuisance in Rise of Shinobu and great cooldowns with Uta, but then came a very, very powerful PvP legend in Esper. And with PvP Legends, alongside Rise of Shinobu, we have two 20-cost units in the front lines to help us build out a very nice bench. And with Frankie, he does really want you guys to use a Straw Hat character on the team. And if you are building out a shooter-based team, Usopp is basically the strongest or the most renowned when it comes to shooting. Once upon a time, there was a event for the Stampede celebration, and we received this cheeky little 20-cost Usopp. And with this 20-cost Usopp comes a very interesting frontline character to give us level 5 cooldowns for our entire team. Doesn't have to be shooter, just our entire team. This Usopp is pretty weak, and ideally, you want to put him in the middle slot because you want him to die. Him dying obviously just gives the passive to Frankie, getting an extra level 5 attack, but not only does he give that passive to Frankie, when he dies, he activates the passive of Esper. This is going to give Esper an extra level 2 attack and a level 2 CD, and then you can bring in some hard hitters like Fujikizaru, Ace. Both of these units work great, and then with the release of 6+ Akainu, you can do some very nice things at the back end of a fight. So shooters have got a lot of firepower at their disposal now. They have had, obviously, Ein and Izo as well, off the top of my head. Zeph 6+ could make a running for the shooter team. Obviously, back in the day, we did have stuff like Sop and Ben Beckman, Lucky Roo. Sop's another just a really good option that you guys could run in the front line and then just sort of just substitute something like Ace on the bench. Sop would actually just be like a fantastic unit to just have. And then that way you've got a Usopp-based character without running this cheeky strap. But I really want to funnel into getting cooldowns very, very quickly. Like, as you can see, we have level 13 cooldown after Rise of Shinobu goes, which Rise of Shinobu, obviously starting with 8 cooldowns and then a 20% cooldown from Uta, means that you can actually move very, very fast and actually pop off and take down some enemy teams very, very quickly. With the forced out mechanic that Esper can provide, with all the damage that Frankie can provide, you can do some really, really nice things. Now, this team, it's not like a top 3 team, nor do I even think it really cracks top 5. It might have a conversation with top 5, but nowadays I do think it's very well cemented into the top 10. It has a very good class-based team, and you have to be very, very careful when you do see this on defensive lines. Obviously, you do need a lot of pieces of the puzzle. This Usopp, doesn't really exist anymore. Obviously, you kind of want him to die to get the most effectiveness out of him. Frankie's a treasure map legend that's never come back. Esper's a PvP legend alongside Rise of Shinobu, who are also PvP legends, and then you have a anniversary exclusive in Ace. But like I said, you do have lots of options. I read out a whole bunch of them before. You've also got 6+ Chopper that you can work as a defensive option. You can turn it more like Shooter Sai and use Rebecca Toy Soldier, or use something like Kuzan as well, and do some fun stuff there, with obviously Chopper on the team as well. So shooters are just fun, man. They're just really fun. Having the availability of like Fujikizaru on the bench to just sort of come in and start doing damage at the back end of a fight, have Frankie going through defense, and then having Ace lowering defense and doing damage as well, means you can just wrap up fights very comfortably in that sort of mid-game to the end game. But like I said, I really wanted to funnel in on the cooldowns, and I thought this little Usopp strategy was something really fun and something that I definitely wanted to make a video on, because I think shooters definitely deserve a bit more credit than what they actually have, because over time, like I said, they've started to snowball into this formidable team that can actually take on some of the bigger teams in the game, can actually rival teams like Psy, which everyone raves on about, and even take down some variations of slasher teams, as you guys saw in the first clip. However, like I said, it's definitely not like your top 5 teams. However, like if you want to run something for your daily PvP fights and you have some of these characters maxed out and you just want to see something a little bit different, something a little bit more fun, it's definitely a team that's going to surprise you, impress you, and take down a lot of things in front of you. This particular Dex team is a prime example of that shooter Dex team that I was talking about. Obviously released of 6+ Lucci with the release of Ace for the 10th anniversary, and then you have like S-Shark, Usopp, and Frankie. You can build a very interesting Dex shooter-based team. This guy opted to use Big Mom on the bench, understandably so, but the Dex shooter team is actually ridiculously strong, and that's why I do think that this team kind of doesn't hold itself up in the mantle of what Dex is actually doing. Because if you just run like a Dex variation of the shooter team, 9 times out of 10 you're going to have more success. Plus you have units like Kaido at your disposal, and you also have units like who's the other unit that's on the team that's not a shooter? Pell. You run Pell with his new level Limit Break, who still buffs Powerhouse units. So Frankie's getting cooldowns, Kaido's getting cooldowns, Pell's getting cooldowns, and then Ace is giving cooldowns as well. So just some really fun stuff. Plus Dex is actually very weak to action bind, so running something like Rise of Shinobu and using Rise of Shinobu anywhere across the board that's very weak to action bind just works exceptionally well, because if you just action bind the entire team, force out one of the other members, you basically just have full range to just use all your specials. At this particular point, there's a good chance that you are going to knock out 1 or 2 units, and with that, obviously they have to sort of scramble with the back end of their bench. Usually the forced out's still in play, so at that point you're sort of rocking either 3-man teams or scrambled defense teams that aren't exactly getting full synergy. But realistically, what you really want for this team to function is you want that Usopp to die. After like 30 seconds, after sort of like as soon as he gets his special, you kind of want him to die at that particular point. The idea is just to get massive cooldowns very, very quickly, and then just have him just die, have your attack dealing units of Fujikizaru and Ace come in at the back end, and just sort of clean house for you after that. But let me know what you guys think of shooters down below. If you guys are something for Esper, let me know. If you guys have Frankie and you've been trying out this team, let me know down below. And hopefully, if you guys did pick up, say, Rise of Shinobu and Esper from the latest PvP banner, hopefully we will see Frankie back soon and you guys can utilize this insanely fun team. But like I said, let me know what you guys think down below. While you're down there, belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.